Now we are in the last part of the oral language development session. This time we will be focusing on the ways on how to develop oral language skills. So we're in a day-to-day basis, if our learners are trying to share, trying to talk, trying to, the innate propensity to talk of our learners, that's their innate to talk and to share stories, to share their experiences, let them be. Because they are helping you to profile them. Through their sharing, malalaman mo sinong bata ang may maayos sa pananalita, sinong bata ang mahilig manood ng cartoons, mga ganon, sinong bata ang nakaririnig ng malinaw, ang hindi nakakarinig, ang hindi nakakapagsalita ng maayos, and the like. And it would be easy for you to profile your learners. Also consider that language learning or language literacy is a developmental stages. First stage that the learners need to be developed is the listening skill. That's why it is very important that when a child is sharing his story, you should listen. You should create conversation with them. You should look at their eyes, eye-to-eye contact, and listen to them attentively. While they are talking, do not interrupt and do not make any judgment. Listen to them attentively, listen to their speech pattern, to their vocabulary. And when they are done, you can ask questions to continue the conversation. Ask clarifying questions if you get confused or whatever. And when it's your time to talk, you can say that, listen to you attentively, so I'm expecting you do the same. Lastly, don't go away with these skills to be developed in our curriculum. For example, in grade 1, week 1, they are expected to use polite expressions in greetings or in asking permission. Therefore, learners are expected to talk. Learners are expected to use expressions, so they should express it orally. However, some of us used situation and then let the class identify the right expression by encircling the right answer like that. So, sana kung ano yung inaasahang skill na ma-develop, yun ang i-develop natin. Since DepEd Order number 21 has been released instructing us to have a bare classroom, to take out everything unnecessary and not valuable, this time we are instructed to create a print-rich classrooms. Also to organize classroom library, to put up storytelling or make-believe areas, yung parang mga Kids Mania style, mga ganon. Dress-up areas, character puppets, board stories, mga ganyan. Also to provide rituals and routines, that is very important. The routines, daily routines for children to experiment with language. Also to connect with literature, use storybooks that contain strong storylines that invite the children to visit and revisit the content, as well as initiate conversation related to the books. Use books that contain interesting words to stretch the child's vocabulary, and carefully plan literacy activities build on the language knowledge of the children in the classroom so that every child can participate in the process. It would be better if you had a brainstorming with the grades 1 to 3 teachers and plan for a engaging activity, engaging language activity is very interesting and appropriate for learners' needs. Sabi nga, di ba, ni Benjamin Franklin, tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, involve me and I learn. So, it would be better if you create engaging and collaborative activities. Listening activity, like nagpi-play ka ng paulit-ulit na mga, alam niyo yon, mga songs, yung sounds of the alphabet sa kindergarten in grade 1. Balikan niyo yung Thorndike theory, yung law of repetition na sinabi ni Thorndike na learning is a gradual process. It's a trial and error, ganon. Niniwala siya na learning occurs when there is a connection between stimulus and the response. And mas matindi ang connection o mas mabilis ang learning when repetition occurs. Pag paulit-ulit na napapakinggan kapag paulit-ulit na ginagawa. And reading a word is much easier if it has first been heard. Let us be very vigilant na yung pinakikinggan ng ating mga estudyante is correct. Consider nyo din po sa listening activity nyo yung mga I Spy, Simon Says, yung mga relay, yung mga bulong-bulong, kasi para ma-develop yung listening skill ng mga bata. No need to elaborate this one kasi very common na to. Show and tell, show and ask. So consider yung balitaan, daily news, where you assigned somebody to be an anchor for the day, something like that. But still remember, yung mga batang 80s, batang 90s, before when we were young, di ba meron tayong mga program, in the first part of the program, alam nyo yon, inalis na lang siya parang tiningnan siya as parang hindi naman siya worth it na isama sa activity. But then, sa mga panahong ito na kailangan ng oral language skill ng mga bata, listening activity and the like, very important siya and pwede natin siyang maibalik. Another good activity is shared reading. Next is wordless book storytelling. Naman nakakatuwa, 'di ba? Na only photos will be shown and then learners will be able to predict what's the next situation or what might happen next, and so their creative mind will encourage to make another version or to have another interpretation of their own. And that activity would not only stimulate learners' mind to be creative, to be mindful of what they see, but to develop the oral language skill of the learners. Next is read aloud. It is very common. It's nice that they listen or they heard what they say, and at the same time, they can correct their own pronunciation or reading. Next is provide your class with songs, chants, and raps. So here are the examples of the songs, of the poem, of the raps, and everything. Next is rhymes, limericks, and poems. Here the inset, you are advised to track your learners how far they have gone. So make another assessment on the oral language skill of your learners. By having this, no, sa inyong mga curriculum guide po yan. So yon. And then try to know where your learners are. Also, to continue the comprehension checkup you are giving every time you had a story or you share a video clip and the like. And that's all for our first session. According to Henry Ford, anyone who stops learning is old, and anyone who keeps learning is young. So let's all be young, young at heart, young in mind. Once again, my name is Lucy Ferranco, your presenter for today. God bless.